Okay, period. So, hey y'all, welcome to the Ancestral Veneration course. Thank you so much for being here. I greatly appreciate the fact that y'all are even here. Not because y'all signed up and I got a little extra money for the ancestors, but definitely because this means that you guys are about to like jumpstart your healing. And honestly, I just want y'all to come back in like 2 or 3 months and tell me like what's changed. And I promise you, y'all gonna be like, bitch. Like for real. Y'all gonna be like, bitch. But yeah, and so real quick, what I wanted to do, I wanted to start off with an opening prayer for everyone because I use the Bible to venerate my ancestors, because a lot of people don't understand that a lot of Black spiritual stuff is really there. It's just a lot of hoodoo going around. And the number one place that you can find hoodoo is in the Black church, because this was all disguised under a lot of shit. Black Christianity, we know we're just different. Like y'all know we're different. And it's that soul, it's that essence, it's that ashe that kept us from everyone else. Black church isn't to worship that white God, it's to venerate the God that helps out the underdogs. And yeah, and so the prayer that I want to do is Psalms 33, because this personally, like this is like one of my favorite Psalms, because it's a Psalms of courage. I know that a lot of people are scared to move or get comfortable with being uncomfortable, because it's the fear of not being able to really push through, and that fear of ending up 2 steps back. And yeah, so I just wanted to give you guys that Psalms and just say it with you guys. I know you guys probably don't know it. It's okay. But can you guys all like, you don't have to like close your eyes and like bow your head, but just feel, just be present for the moment, you know? Rejoice in the Lord, O ye righteousness, for praise is comely for the upright. Praise the Lord with harp. Sing unto him with a psaltery and an instrument of 10 strings. Sing unto him a new song. Play skillfully with a loud noise. For the word of the Lord is right, and all of his works are done in truth. He loveth righteousness and judgment. The earth is full of goodness of the Lord, and by the word of the Lord the heavens were made, and all host of them by the breath of his mouth. He gathereth the waters of the sea as a heap, and he layeth upon the depth of in storehouses. Let all the earth fear the Lord, and all the inhabitants of the Lord stand in awe of him. For he spake, it was done. He commandeth, it stood fast. The Lord bringeth the counsel to the heaven to know, and he maketh the devices of the people none effect. The counsel of the Lord standeth forever, the thoughts of all his hearts to all generations. Blessed is the nation whose God is the Lord, and the people who he hath chosen for his own inheritance. The Lord looketh from the heavens, he beholdeth all the sons of men. From the place of his habitation, he looked up upon all the inhabitants of earth, and he fashioned their hearts alike. He considered all of their works. There is no king saved by a multitude of a host. A mighty man is not delivered from unstrength. A horse is a vain thing for safety, and neither shall he be delivered by his great strength. Behold, the eye of the Lord is upon them, for them. The eye of the Lord is upon them that fear them, upon them that hope in his mercy, to deliver their soul from death and to keep them alive in famine. Our soul waiteth for the Lord. He is our help, our shield. For our heart rejoiced in him. We shall trust it in his holy name. Let thy mercy, O Lord, be upon us, according as we hope in thee. Amen. But doesn't it resonate differently, like when it's listened to, you know? It resonates differently when you feel the essence of the ancestors relying on not white God, but what they knew from back home, you know? And over time, you know? Yeah. But so yes, I wanted to start off with that opening prayer. And first I wanted to get into like the question. Everyone says, oh, ancestors this, ancestors that. If you follow me on Instagram, y'all probably saw me post feed the ancestors hoes, feed the ancestors. But we want to know, what is feeding the ancestors? What is veneration? What is XYZ, you know? So who are the ancestors? The ancestors is anyone of your lineage, your spiritual family that has ascended over. So when it comes to ancestors, yes, you can have blood ancestors, but keep in mind, you got blood who ain't family, and you got family who ain't blood. Say in the event that you are adopted, you can venerate your adopted You can venerate your family. That's your family, you know? Because even if we might not know the name of our grandma, ancestors and our elevated ancestors are like a gungun are those are with us regardless. It's like, say that you had a pet and you'd have, oh, this is my pet, and the pet looks up to you. They may not call you by your actual name, but it's like, you know. For your amount of ancestors, it's a lot. A lot of people tend to think of, oh, we only have like, oh, only got like 6 or whatever, because that's all you can think of. But think of those people's ancestors. Every person in your family got 2 parents, whether they're in the picture or not. Bloodline, it just keeps going into a bunch of branches, which eventually go into so many branches of people and so many alike people to where it's just one grand ancestor. So whenever I say how to venerate the ancestors, a lot of people want to jump to, well, I want to worship this person and I want to worship this deity and da 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 da. But those are still your ancestors. If they watch over you, that aren't they in your spiritual family who's ascended over? Who's not an ancestor? Anyone living. You put them on the ancestor altar and they will become an ancestor. G shit. So do not put no pictures of alive people on that ancestor altar. And this is also not an area for any passed on pets. We want people. Can children be ancestors? Yes, children can be ancestors. Children are closer to the spiritual realm than any adult. That's why, you know, that bond between a baby and an elderly person, that bond is because they're close to ascending. They're closest to ascending. But yeah, so like, why are the ancestors important? They're like, y'all know the butterfly effect, the whole thing about, oh, everything that you've ever gone through is the event of the butterfly effect. Exactly where you are in life right now is because 7 generations ago, whatever happened at that particular time that you want to look at was happening. We're their vessel. We are the altar. That's the thing. We're the altar. But I'm going to get onto that in a little bit. But they're important because they're the foundation that we walk on. Everything that we do is because of what they've done, and everything that your further generations will go through is because of your actions now. Yes, it's pressure, but also, yes, it's healing when you know that you can eliminate a lot of stuff. You know? All right. So what's veneration? The definition of veneration is like great respect, like to honor them, pay homage. But to me, veneration is when you make some shit shake, you make it come alive. To where if, shit, I don't even know what I could grab real quick. This ancestor money. I could venerate this ancestor money just by holding it, putting my energy in it, putting my ashe, putting my life, putting my soul essence into it, my intentions. You can venerate a lot. To me, like, yeah, you can honor it the same way, but I feel like with the ancestors, when you think of honoring, a lot of people tend to deify their ancestors. It shouldn't be like, oh, I'm worshiping you, you're my God. No, y'all are the same level. That's like your grandparents. You wouldn't go to your grandparents and get on your knees and do this and like almost like a slave type shit. No, because at that point you can get so lost, but the ancestors were people too. So when I say let's venerate the ancestors, make them alive, let's honor them, let's make them proud. And a lot of people tend to think of our ancestors as perfect. No, they had issues, they had taboos. Some people, a lot of people got fucked up ancestors. But at the end of the day, you could choose who to venerate. You just got to be clear on the intention. But yeah, and so why I think we should venerate them, and why just anything. One, because they fucking deserve it. Like, think of all the trials and tribulations and all the generational curses that you've broken. Now compare your mother or your father to their grandparents. Every generation thinks, yeah, I'm healed. Hell yeah, I'm gonna be better. I'm gonna be better. So if we've gone through this shit and think this is the best time to be Black in America. So think of how we were so forced to be on survival mode all the time. that's not a way to live. That's surviving. So when we're finally able to relax and be like, damn, I'm just watching TV. Shit, I'm watching TV. I'm fine. I'm whatever. That's because of what they went through. And what they're not like, hey, don't do this. You got to be struggling. No. Why would you want your baby to struggle? You worked hard so they didn't have to. But at the same time, don't get lost in these luxuries and forget about them. You know? Also, it strengthens your lineage. The biggest way that they found to oppress us was taking us from spirit. That's after, because think of how much soul in essence we have. We still getting fucking copied. And we still we found this culture within ourselves, and that just shows how rich our culture was, but it is now. They're just extremely different because of all the fucking oppression. They tried to get us to be like them. They want us to get caught up in capitalism and hate our fucking selves and fight over this shit. They want to continue to dismantle the Black community. Our ancestors honored their ancestors. And it just keeps going. When it comes to people worshiping like Loa or Orishas, that is also our ancestors. So me personally, the biggest reason why I love venerating my ancestors is because I've seen shit shake. I'm talking about having dreams about niggas cheating on me. Like anytime they're like, hey, you gonna get hurt or something big, they let me know. They'll calm your mind. They'll recommend shit. They told me to get therapy. I finally found a therapist after fighting with all this other bullshit and bomb ass therapists. To where I'm getting called out my first day on shit that I thought was fine. They'll trigger that healing. Like, bro, they're fucking amazing. But it fights oppression. Literally, it's fighting oppression. This is the number one way, because when your ancestors are here to guide you from their experiences, you stop that pattern. You break those generational curses, and we get closer to getting off of survival mode. We get closer to actually being so unified that they can't fuck with us. That when they come for one of us, they're gonna have to come for us all. Malcolm X, period. But yeah, and so before I actually like started the class, I wanted to do a reading for y'all regarding just regarding like a message that the ancestors want y'all to know, like moving forward as y'all kind of jumpstart just working with them, talking to them, like really healing your lineage, because y'all thought shit was rough. Wait till they start calling y'all out on shit that y'all gotta change. And change is fucking hard and it sucks. But at the end of the day, you can't do the same shit every day and expect different results. That's insanity. So you might as well get information from people who live that shit themselves. They weren't prunes either. Like, you know, y'all realize y'all got some lit ass ancestors around. Like, I'm talking, I mean, like, yeah, we got the firehead ones where it's like, oh, you touched my baby, okay, car accident, or it's where you just be like, damn, like, calm the fuck down. But then you also got the ones who's like, bitch, let's go shake some ass. Like, you know, you just gotta find the balance, because literally, if they see you, I've had so many people find like instances where people ancestors would be like, they're too devoted. Be a hoe, because we would rather you be a hoe than fuck with this person. But that's just them keeping it fucking real. They want you to get that experience, you know. Keep in mind, like, people are like, fuck ego, no ego, or da da da. This is the human experience, bitch. I'm gonna have my ego. You know what I mean? I'm going through all this shit to still not have no ego. 6. Yeah. Okay, so I pulled 6 cards regarding this, and so the question that I asked them and the message that I got was like, what do they want y'all to know moving forward? What are some things that we could call out now to get it, nip it in the ass so that we can move forward? Because, you know, so the upper deck is kind of like the situation that's going on. I have it in past, present, future, but then also what's now, what can improve. Like the yin and the yang, the two sides. And so right here, I have the Page of Swords. This is, okay, when I think of the page, I think of like princess energy. This is kind of letting y'all know, y'all bitches are scared. Like, that's just how it is. Fear is stifling y'all. Y'all are scared to move forward, because when I think of the princess, I think of someone who's adventurous as hell. I think of someone who's like, ooh, fuck yeah, I'm gonna do this. This is, let me see if y'all can see it. Okay. So this is the Page of Swords reverse. Swords, this is an air sign. The air signs are known to be very witted, like quick-witted and very curious and very like, oh my God, I want to know fucking everything because I just want to know everything. I have amazing thoughts. I have this, I have whatever. Like the humanitarians, the Aquarius, those are the air signs. Libra, as well as Libra, oh, and Gemini. And so, yeah, so y'all are repressing this curiosity that y'all have towards experiencing life and really getting like a grip on it, but y'all are scared. Y'all want to experience, but y'all are not stepping out of y'all comfort zones, and y'all are kind of like, I'll observe. But you're like, fuck, like, come on, like, I want to grow, I want to do this, I want to learn. Oh my God, it looks so fucking cool. Like, it's not far. They're just like, right now, you have to just get the courage to actually jump into it. They're not saying be reckless with it and just like, fuck yeah, I'm gonna fucking do it. But you need to be like, yeah, you're like, you need to jump in that bitch. They're letting you know you could still be kind of like, you don't have to be so fierce with it, because the way you want to come about it is perfect. It's just the fact that you're not moving, because you have so many restrictions, like self-limiting thoughts right now that are stopping you, like, oh, you're not this enough, or oh, you're not whatever enough. And I get that, because when I think of a Disney princess and she's like doing whatever and doing her shit, there's always people trying to stop her. There's always niggas trying to stop her, but then they save the day or some shit. Think of like Cinderella, all them hating ass bitches. Like, y'all feel like people are trying to stop y'all, or y'all are stopping yourself, but cut that shit out. But also, they're letting you know, right now, you've just gone through an intense thing of healing. I feel like a lot of people have been having like epiphanies and like, damn, like, you're actually starting to get moving forward. The Star card is about healing. It's about renewal. Like, I see it as you releasing a lot of baggage to like accept this new reality that you're wanting. Like, you're finally getting hope. But right now, leave them niggas alone. Leave them bitches alone. Because one, I got a King of Cups reverse, but then I got the Queen of Cups. And so looking up forward, the fact that these are both the same suit, I usually pair them up as like a family. So we got the Queen of Cups, and everyone in here is a woman. And this does not mean like, oh, you're a woman, even if you get this like recording or something like that. But this is y'all. This is healing. This is healed. This is not healed. Regardless of what you identify as, your sexual orientation, having a healed divine feminine energy, and the attributes of divine feminine energy is intuition. Like I said, y'all know what y'all have to do to start moving forward. Y'all are just scared to jump because you just think you fucking can. You just think you fucking can. But when it comes to y'all, this is letting y'all know y'all are ready. Y'all are mature enough. Y'all probably, like I said, went through some fucking hell not too long ago to get where you're at. Leave people, bruh. And then also, in addition to the fucking Three of Cups reverse, one, if y'all got a partner, they probably fucking with somebody else. Not okay. Let me rephrase that. If you in a toxic relationship and you suspecting something, it's like, no, cut that shit out. This is not the time for people to be absorbing your energy. And when I say relationships, I do not even mean like, but this is also followed by the Hermit card. Y'all need more time to yourself, but I'm about to go back what I was doing. It's not the time for y'all to be socializing, and I'm not saying socialize like cut off all your friends type shit, but not the time for you to be distributing your energy in areas that you know that you can keep that shit. Based off of the Queen of Cups, snatch that motherfucking energy and just keep the energy. But anyone who's being like toxic, because whenever I get the King Sword cup, if you look in his eyes look like reptiles. And I don't know if it's just because this is a shitty print, but I mean, it's on my card for a reason. But I get like manipulation. This is like a very manipulative card. Okay. But yes, I get manipulation. Y'all are growing out of these manipulative situations, these manipulative ass people. But well, like I said, the top is like the now, like what's kind of fucked up. The bottom, what's the potential? Like, come on. And then, but also the future. So in the future, they're letting you know on both sides of the situation, confirmation of which if you choose to stay in these toxic situations and not jump and basically continue being your biggest critic, keeping yourself back, you being your biggest obstacle, they're letting you know you're gonna still spend time in solitude. Like you're gonna be alone regardless. And this is not like, oh, don't date that person, or don't talk to this girl, or don't do anything, solitude, because too much solitude at the same time is a bad thing. But they want y'all to focus on healing and breaking these codependencies. Because when I think of this, I'm like, yes, I'm with my motherfucking girls. Like, we're probably drinking or some shit because, you know, they got the cups or whatever. But this is, you know, everyone's fruitful. Everyone's equal. I'm not getting equal energy, and these are draining you. You're not getting the equal energy back. This is equal. 3 represents an equilibrium. The strongest shape in the fucking world is a triangle. Here's that triangle being fucked up. This is an imbalance in relationships, and whoever is being this manipulative ass energy in your life, they're telling you, no, cut that shit out. And a lot of it is honestly coming from you. Like I said, being your biggest critic. Cutting people off is prioritizing. Breaking these boundaries is probably cutting off people who are not good for you, or situations that are not serving you. That's still self-care. It seems selfish, but sometimes you have to be selfish, because when you stand for nothing, you fall for everything. And why the fuck would we want to do that? That's disrespectful to you, yourself, and like I said, your ancestors are living through you. If this one person, or one, let's say, Orisha or something like that, is calling to you like, oh my gosh, I think this is my whatever the fuck people be doing, that's disrespectful to them. That's disrespectful to them. You thinking lesser of yourself, that's disrespectful to them. If you think that's your head, you're related to that person. So they are in you. That's disrespectful to your grandma, who traveled across 3 fucking states over this with no fucking help, and then still managed to see how fucking successful everyone is right now. But yes, I hope that reading was helpful. Just based off of that, like, little homework thing, I want y'all to like make a eulogy. I want y'all to sit down and make a eulogy for your past self. Make a eulogy to the self that, let's go in deep. All this shit that you just finally went through, like all that, like that tower moment that we all just had not too long ago, because we had Mercury fucking retrograde and the damn eclipse and all this other crazy shit probably started going on. So let's write a eulogy to that, so we could really let go and learn to give our final goodbye. Closure is a social construct, but at the end of the day, when you what you need is that push to finally be like, I'm done. Closure is just, I'm done. That's why all these closure talks people be having in the car, bitch. I'm playing. I'm funny as fuck. But yeah, you give yourself closure. And it's time that we sit down. This new moon in Cancer is still fresh as the fuck. So sit down and write to yourself, write to your past self before all this shit just went on. Write to yourself and give yourself like a heads up about what's going to happen, and be there. And yeah, just write a final goodbye. And then what you can do, you could burn it, throw them ashes out your fucking door or away from your home. And that was a whole ritual I just gave y'all ass, period. But anyway, whole ritual I just gave y'all ass. But yeah, so getting back, so now we're actually going to get into the altar. So regarding the altar is going to be like a sacred space. I want y'all to see this environment as my ancestors will dead up, just walk through my fucking room to this spot. They will walk through these walls just to this spot. Not saying they're not going to follow you or nothing, but that just means be wary of where you place your ancestor altar. Because the way that I personally see it, let's say that this water bottle right here is my altar. And these cards are my ancestors. Ancestor I'm venerating, yeah, you could get some. Ancestor I'm venerating, yeah, you can get some. Ancestor I'm not venerating, they're not getting some, but they're still fucking here. And this comes up a lot. Oh, like, for example, if my altar's in my room, can I have sex in my room? No, the hell you can't. You don't do no freaky dicky shit you wouldn't do in front of your grandma. And that's just on fucking period. Like, please do not, bitch. Like, I be telling people, because at the same time, yes, sex is natural, sex is this, sex is whatever, but at the same time, veneration means respect. So we have to show some respect. Y'all will not do that in front of y'all great. Y'all will not do that in front of that deity everybody trying to be fucking claiming. Like, even if you work with white people, paganism or something, which is off of the seven African powers. But anyways, you go to Aphrodite, you would, I mean, you probably fucking would, but don't do that shit with Ocean. But simple as that, bitch, just don't do it. Like, fuck. Just don't fucking do it. But yeah, so what I say, like, this is how I personally, like, my altar was in my room for that, like, just before I had an environment to really put my altar. Just wasn't doing nothing crazy in there, like not even getting dressed in front of the altar. I would go in my bathroom type shit. And it's not here no more. But right here, this drape, that's what I would have to cover this aspect of my room. So that I was almost like they had their own personal area, their own sacred quarter. You want to make it a sacred spot that you know you will not, one, fucking forget, but you shouldn't forget it. But two, you would still prioritize it. Because slowly you'll start being like, all right, now I'm watching who comes in my house. At first, it'll be like, oh, because, you know, because I don't want them to freak out or disrupt my ancestors. No, bitch. The ancestors will straight up tell you, don't let that person in the house. And then it just makes you think, like, damn, like, what's on that person? And then it'll be people that you fall out with or some shit. Like, they let you know. They're quick. So place it in an area that you know that that resonates with you. You cannot fuck up really nothing with this shit. One, because the way I'm about to explain it. But two, it's all about intuition. Your intuition is your biggest guide. That's your biggest, here's your manual, here's your this, you know? So one of the things that are non-negotiable, I'm just going to talk about the non-negotiables, and then y'all can personalize it based off of your intuition. Water. Your goal is to have like all 4 elements on your altar. So why water? How water? Don't put no plastic on this damn altar. Like, you, like, if it's like a plastic like candy or something like, oh, this is like a cute, like, I don't even know. Don't give them no plastic bowl. Don't give them no damn Tupperware. Don't give them no damn fruit cup. Like, but we're gonna get into the damn food offerings in a minute, because people be trying the fuck out of them. But yes, you don't want to put no plastic, because me personally, I barely like plastic, for one. But two, if I'm working with a spirit, why I'm going to give them a cheap material? Because at the end of the day, whether you're working with herbs and you storing them in plastic, or fucking, I don't even want to name nobody, but somebody you ain't supposed to be fucking working with because you ain't got no relationship with your ancestors, you know? Just little things like that, like no fucking plastic. Water is also a portal. Simple as that. Water is a portal. So what I like to do when it comes to water, one, give your ancestors a cup of water. All this talking they doing in your ear and in your head, and all this like, ooh, like this thing, or just da 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 da, and all this communication, that takes up energy. So as the energy is being absorbed, give them a glass of water. Shit, like you wouldn't be thirsty as fuck. And I hate to say it so blunt, but that's just literally, I'm gonna tell y'all how it is. They thirsty as fuck the same way I'm thirsty as fuck talking. So imagine years, decades, probably centuries of, centuries of having ancestors trying to guide us through all this crazy shit. No water. Them niggas talking like this, and that's why it's not loud. Simple as that. When it comes to water, I like to have a regular glass of water for them. Shit, even get fancy, bitch. Put it in a wine glass. Give them a cup of water. And then I have like a jug of water. Not like a this jug, but like a pitcher. Bitch, I almost said picture, but a pitcher. And then I have a bowl, a white bowl, to put my candle in. Because these 7-day candles, you could just leave them lit. You just got to make sure that if the glass were to shatter, it would go into the water. Because it don't explode like, boosh, that shit went all over the room. If that shit happened, you're doing something you ain't supposed to be doing. So that should not even be a thing, you know? But when it comes to people dressing candles and all this other stuff, sometimes they might put a little too many herbs, and it's just like the glass just got too damn hot, you know? But yeah, so a little bowl of water to put your candle in. You're going to want to do all this on a white cloth, preferably like a wood surface. Why? Because wood is organic. Wood is the embodiment of a tree. Trees have spirits and energy is not created nor destroyed. That's why things like desks or whatever, they usually have some type of wood under it. Or I'm just a hotep or some shit, but you know. But yeah, so basically you want a white cloth over the area simply because this is gonna sound very churchy or very whatever, but it is fucking true. The color white is as close to God as we're gonna get. Bitch, we don't mean skin. People, they did not know how to speak in tongues and decode, I guess. So they took that shit literal, but you know what I mean. So when we have, for example, a white cloth, bitch, if anything gets on white, you know it's dirty. So you have this white cloth. You have this white bowl so that, oh, you'll see if there's anything on the side. It's ensuring, one, that it's clean, but also the energy of white can be used, like a white candle, for example. Those can be used to substitute any other colored candle because white is literally all the colors put together. All right, I got that shit mixed up. I don't fucking know. I'm not a colorist, but you know what I mean. All the colors come together and they give white. Yeah, because absent of color is black, period. So yeah, white on the cloth, white candle. Why? I just explained it, but also it's an offering in its own. Because when you take your white candle, so say this is like my glass candle. You take this glass candle, I'm praying over it, putting my intentions into it, etc., etc. That glass is made out of sand, and sand is made out of quartz. Quartz is a crystal, and crystals are programmable. And then the candle alone, you have all 4 elements. Water is that liquid wax that goes. Fire is here. We have earth because we got the quartz. And then on top of that, the air that's coming off the air that's coming off the flame as the smoke. And so we have all 4 elements here. Give the intention of lighting the way for your ancestors, because that's another thing that the candle is here for. Hold it out, talk, program the crystal. You see shit, but it is. Program the glass, program the candle. I wanted to light the way for my ancestors. Set it in that glass of water, or not glass, but that bowl of water. Now they have a light source to go to, and now they have that portal. The portal being the water. And then now you're going to want to start to decorate it with personal items of your ancestors. And if you don't have any, use their names, use their photos. Say you don't have any of that and you know absolutely nothing. You are adopted. You can write unknown ancestors of love and light of the highest intent. Naturally, it will let you know, but a lot of people usually don't have ancestors who are really out to get them, based off of what I've heard from the people who I'm under. So people really don't have to, but if you want that extra sense of security, you could put highest intention, highest this, because think of it like this. Your cousin who died don't fuck with you. You really think your elevated spirits are going to let somebody fuck with you? You really think your elevated ancestors are going to let that one cousin that just don't like you because you're pretty try to do some shit realistically? And all this protection that you've gotten so far without acknowledging nobody, you know? And so, yeah, so you're going to want to put some personal items on them, things that are resonating. I noticed a lot. I'll go thrifting and I'll see something and I'll like get a vision or something like, oh, this is so pretty for my altar or something like that. Make sure you cleanse it. You can cleanse it with some Florida water, cleanse it with a bunch of prayer over it, put your ashe in it, like speak into it. But you're going to know this one is personal, but it's also mandatory for you to put effort into this altar. Make it to where it's like, yeah, like you should look at that shit and be like, yeah, I like this shit. Like, because when you like it, that's like confirmation that you know they like it. Even when it's something like, I kind of want to move this cup over here for some reason. You know? When it comes to mandatory shit for the ancestor altar, prayer. And I'm going to give you guys the Psalms for fucking everything. This is the white candle of Psalms. Psalms 23. Psalms 23 can protect. It can be used to cleanse. It can be used to attract abundance. It can be used for a lot. And most importantly, you. Like, you are the ancestor altar. Yes, this is a sacred spot for them to sit. And this is honestly just for you to show that you're making an area for them to relax, an area for them to feel welcomed. But you are the altar. The things that you put into your body, you're putting into their body. The things that you are absorbing instead of observing, whether it's how people act and you're just like, that's negative, I don't like that shit, but picking it up, or red flags that are being ignored, or just anything of that nature, you're doing that to them. And I don't mean this in a sense of like, ooh, be scared, do this, or da 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 da, or you have to be perfect. No, you don't at all. But it just shows how you should keep yourself to a high standard. Not high standard as in what you're doing, with like who you with, whatever, but high standard as to what you're letting into your body. Drink some water, take care of your body. They want you to live a long, healthy life, especially where heart disease and diabetes is huge in our community because of them systematically placing shit and making only certain shit accessible. But at the same time, we have the opportunity to not have this shit done to us. Not done to us, but not give in, because we're aware of this. And once you start acknowledging something, you're no longer ignorant. So you're no longer like, oh, the ignorant are protected. Like, you're not protected no more at that point. They expect you to do something if you know it's right for you. They're not expecting you to do it 100% of the time, where it's like, oh shit, like I'm doing this perfectly. No, you're expected to make mistakes. They still want you to have like a human life. They can't read your mind though. So if you're like, damn, I got this plan, I'm gonna do this, but only for tonight, I'm gonna do this, or they don't fucking know that. They think you're just going out to party or just doing whatever without any other like not clearer thoughts, but that's all they can see. Y'all have a relationship. Y'all are the same person, but the same way you and your parents are the same person, essentially. y'all are still separate bodies. Y'all are still, they're on a whole different fucking dimension. So, you know, and now we get into some more authorship. So another thing that is a non-negotiable that I kept last for a reason is the offerings. When it comes to offerings, the biggest thing that you are ever going to offer your ancestors is your time and showing that you care, showing that you're prioritizing them, and showing that you're progressive, showing that you're putting yourself to the standard that you know that you deserve, where you're not taking shit from just anybody and you're putting boundaries and stuff. Healthy boundaries is venerating the ancestors. Creating or doing whatever the fuck you love against what the fuck society says, that's venerating the ancestors. Because I promise you, in the tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of ancestors that you have, there's a decent chunk that the shit that you're going through, they have gone through multiple times and were either killed for it or literally fucking anything. But you have the opportunity to fully be yourself. They don't want you to live in fear. It came up in the reading. They don't want you to live in fear, but you got to cut off things that you know are manipulating your situation, things that are fucking with your head. They want you to be there for yourself right now because they're there for you, but now is the time for you to welcome them, to put this, I call it like a sacred tsunami, this sacred tsunami of change, for them to wash you into this this new milestone of life. But you have to allow them, and you have to allow yourself, and do what feels right, do what feels high vibrational for you, because that's the biggest way that you can venerate your ancestors. No amount of fucking ancestor money or real money or whatever, that all takes time. It's called spiritual work, not spiritual half-ass. Another thing that you can offer them is financial, some monies. So you can offer them real money. Money shakes shit on our side. So what do y'all think it's gonna do to their side? Energy is currency. Currency is energy. That's why y'all pay. That's why when people are showing gratitude, they tip. It's called gratitude. You know, you're showing appreciation. That's you sending energy somebody's way. When it comes to offerings, you can always get rid of them at the crossroads. Now is it like, damn, I have this thing of coffee that I made my ancestor, I gotta go all the way to the fucking crossroads? No, you can go put that in the garden or something. You can give it back to life. But when it's something that, like when it's like money, or bitch, I said money like Mr. Krabs, oh my gosh. But when it comes to like money and stuff, and whether it's fake, real, or you're doing like spiritual work or ashes or anything like that, that's crossroad stuff. But yeah, when it comes to like real money, you don't gotta be burning like 50s and fucking hundreds and all. If you got it like that shit, I mean, buy oil or something. But when it comes to realistically giving financial offerings, you could put a thing of change, like get a little bowl. I'm gonna use an old smoke blend container, but you simply can get a bowl, put pennies in it. Oh, you got change from the store? Okay, that's going on my altar. And then when you have accumulated a certain amount, go take that to the crossroads. Simply, you know, you can dump it, or if something's telling you leave the whole thing, you can leave the whole thing and start a whole new one. It's really easy. You can also, if you have a checking book, you could take out a check, write your name, be like ancestors of love and light, or ancestors of XYZ, or you write a prayer on it and burn it. But whenever it comes to money, I like to pray over it, or like talk to it, like this is for this person, this is for whatever. Even when it comes to ancestor money, like how would you burn? So this is an ancestor dollar. Since I'm okay, so I don't usually burn my shit in this, but I'm not gonna also show what I really burn my shit in, because when it comes to showing your altar as well, that's just something that you got to ask the ancestors about. I don't show nobody my fucking altar unless it's like in person and the ancestors are like, yeah, they could look like it's cool, but people can do a lot of shit with that, so don't post that. But so yeah, so we have our ancestor money, or any type of offering that we're going to burn that's paper, hold it towards you, because just the law of the universe, I want things to come towards me. This is money. I'm literally giving them money. So I would like to have money come my way. You know what I mean? Oh, sorry. Let me add her. She was in the waiting room. Okay, period. But yeah, when you're burning the ancestor money, put it towards you, set that bitch on fire, toss it in here. Don't do it in here. And like I'm when I say in here, I mean in a house, because that motherfucking fire alarm gonna go the fuck off because it smokes. So I usually just go somewhere where it's concrete. Throw. You'll get like a confirmation when the flame is green. It's just like hey, we got it, thank you, period. Yeah, when it comes to just when you burning things like ancestor money, you know, when someone gives you a present, you try to be like a little extra nice to them, you know? Like you don't have to, but it's like, oh my gosh, like you know, money talks and everything fucking listens in this realm. So think of how much power it has over there. You magically just like, oh shit. It's like, you know, you sending your family Haiti money. They'll be like, oh shit, you send an extra $10, you send a little extra $100. Okay. Like bitch. Like now you're put on a spotlight to where they're like, let me see if they're doing good. And it's like, oh, okay, damn, like they have this business deal coming up, or they have this idea, or they have this opportunity. All right, let's do this. Or like, let's put a little extra something in her account. But in no way should y'all be burning money only to get something back. It's not bad to ask for stuff, by the way, either, and give them something because you asked for it. But the whole relationship should not be built on you begging and then burning some money because you was begging. With no relationship, no nothing. I actually made a sample prayer for y'all, and this is also going to be in the recording, so when y'all like sit and take notes or anything. But this is how I would pray over the money. You know, I'll probably keep the stack in my hand, and this is something I wrote before, like 10 minutes before the class, just because I wanted to give y'all something like to reference, you know. To my ancestors of good intention, I come before you to honor your sacrifices. Thank you for your influences over my life, and may this ancestor money pay any debt that may be an obstacle to our lineage. Basically, first half, you see that first portion, I'm just thanking them. You don't go to somebody just being like, hey, hand it here, bitch. Like, no. So I'm thanking them, and I'm saying like worldly matters can still steer me off my path, interfering with like messages you send my way, and I ask that you may please show me my path. Please show me what's no longer in my alignment. Guide me to connect with you, heal and to heal any generational curses that might come my way. I surrender to this transformation, a new milestone in my life, and it's with your will that it will be done. You can say amen, say ashe, you can say whatever the fuck you want. You could be like, sometimes even if I'm doing it, I'm like, your baby, like, bitch, because I am their baby. I'm like, your baby. And yeah, because what you want to do, you just want to let them know, hey, thank you. I know I be fucking up. Please help me not fuck up. Thank you. I will listen. That's literally it. And then eventually it'll just be like, hey, like, thank you for helping me, like, buy some pretty, you know? Just eventually you'll get used to when you feel the energetic forces of what's happening, when your life is actively changing, you'll notice that you're a lot more grateful, not for like what you had or what you experienced, like yes, that too, but it's like, oh, like, thank you, ancestors. Like, they don't even got to do shit for me to be like, you know what, I'm bored, let me go. Wow, bitch, if I'm gonna be bored, I might as well be elevating my lineage while I'm bored, like, you know, to where it's just that thinking of them. Once again, time being that offering. When it comes to food, the best thing that you can give is anything that's high vibrational. When it comes to fruits and vegetables, give them something whole. If you are on a budget, Please do not give them no motherfucking fruit cups. Don't give them no fruit snacks. I don't want to hear no, yeah, but granddaddy liked his little tuna packets. Hell the fuck no. He was also addicted to cigarettes. Please feed them real food. Please feed them real food. Because bitches will put saltine crackers on the altar and be like, oh, I'm feeding them. I'm like, bitch, like, oh my gosh. The best thing that I noticed that is very responsive for a lot of people, foods that you like. Start off with foods that you like, because you grew up eating those foods that they probably ate, or y'all have relatively similar taste buds. Because just on a cultural perspective, you know, peaches are good as fuck, period. But whole peaches, whole apples, whole oranges, if you wouldn't eat it, and I don't mean like, I wouldn't eat a celery. I mean, don't give them no damn. You could give them celery, but give them something for real. You're like, damn, I have this half of a watermelon or this whole watermelon I want to give them. Yeah, you could do that. But don't be like, oh, here's the last grape that's extra squishy and extra soggy and wrinkly and shit. Don't give them that shit. You want a live fruit, a live vegetables, things that have high energy to them. And then you can give them other stuff. You could cook them dinner, but I don't personally like, y'all can cook them like, oh, here's some chicken, here's some this. But a chicken is that's a dead flesh. That's a sacrifice. Everything technically regarding this is a sacrifice. But giving them a chicken that you cooked, granted you didn't kill it, you didn't whatever, you're still giving them a dead bird. And the energy of a dead bird, granted, don't get me wrong, that life is powerful. But are they elevated enough to even take this offering? You know what I mean? To where it's like, have you elevated them enough for them to accept this steak, them to accept this animal as an offering? But at the end of the day, different strokes, different folks. If you feel called to like, damn, like I want to make them this, do it. Like literally do it, but don't have that one thing, just the only whatever, because you're feeding a lineage. You don't gotta make no damn crazy buffet or some shit. But you know what I like to do whenever I'm like making something like coffee, or I'll wake up in the morning and I won't even drink tea or nothing. I'll just drink some water. But I built a routine to help build our relationship. So whenever I would cook something and I cooked extra, they get a plate. And you'll know when to take it off the altar, because it starts to it just starts to lose its life force. I've had peaches that were so damn wrinkly, not even like squishy like ew, but wrinkly to the point where it looks like them wrinkly ass dogs that you could pick up like this, and they will be dangling type shit. I've given them food that I've cooked, and I'll come back damn like, look, like damn, that look dry as fuck. I ate half of my plate, and my plate has been up on my table since the same time I cooked for y'all, and y'all's look way worse than mine, because they're eating. Energy's not created nor destroyed. Granted, it's not going to have teeth marks because there's nothing physical to make the teeth marks, so they're absorbing that energy. When it comes to drinks, definitely you want to always leave a thing of water. You want to, like, I like to give them coffee, you know, like wake the spirits up a little bit, you know, a little caffeine, because also they more than likely drank coffee. But then also, more than likely, a lot of your ancestors drank. If you're Haitian, go ahead and get that damn cremas, bitch. Put that shit on the altar for real. But just find out what they like. Personally, I don't give my ancestors no Hennessy, because Hennessy to me tastes like poverty. Hennessy, like the grip that Hennessy has in the Black community is depressing. So let's get some other cognacs, you know? Let's find something else. But rum, I noticed that a lot of people's ancestors fucking love rum. And if you don't know, ask them. Literally just ask them. You'll have a dream, you'll have a taste for some liquor. There's been times where I'm like, damn, like I'm craving Henny. I'm like, ew. And then I'll give him another one, like another cognac, but I know that's because that's the only cognac I've ever had. So of course I'm gonna want something similar. There's been times where I'll just be doing something and I'm like, damn, some fried okra and hot sauce sounds so good. I ain't never eat that. I've never been a big fan of okra. But I promise you, whenever I look up no recipes and I just let the ancestors handle it, that shit was good as fuck. Especially when I dip that bitch in some hot sauce. They'll let you know what they want. And then you'll start seeing, like, you'll be like, okay, I kind of want this too much. Like, where the fuck did this come up from? You can also give them other forms of offerings, the same way you would give them offerings as an alive person. Like, oh, okay, you know, it's a special day, or you're just feeling like doing it. Go get them some flowers. Put some more ashe, put some more energy into this altar, you know? Go give them some flowers. You know, your cousin or your great grandma or, you know, your sister or anyone, or you just have the hunch that they fucking liked a certain color. You can go get them knickknacks. What I like to do sometimes, I'll put up some pieces of jewelry and put that bitch on there and be like, please, like, put your essence into this jewelry. Put your protection into this jewelry. Little things like that. You can also give them weed as an offering. Smoke them out. When it comes to weed and tobacco, I'm gonna show you how to smoke them out. I'm not gonna do that shit. But what's something that, okay. So say this is the blunt, this is the J, this is whatever the fuck you smoking, and this is my candle. You're gonna want to blow. I mean, if you want to, that's up to you. But personally, when it comes to cigars and blunts and shit, I don't do that. So I blow. But if whatever, different strokes, different folks. But at the end of the day, smoke is an offering. You can also use smoke to cleanse a lot of shit. That's when y'all people be saging and Palo Santo in and all this other stuff. That you're cleansing the area with sage. Incense, same thing. You could put a little nug up on there. Put a black and mild, because you know it's probably smoking on some black and milds. I'm stop playing with y'all. But put something up there to where it's like, you know, they would have liked that shit growing up. If you like it, more than likely you picked that up through DNA. You wouldn't know that this is your favorite food until you were brought to that favorite food. And I'm not going to be like, oh, I doubt that if you weren't black, you wouldn't have that favorite food. But you would have had a whole different upbringing and a whole different set of taste buds. But yeah, some of y'all fucking eat chitlins. But yeah. So, once again, you can smoke them out. Get that candle. Oh, you and your girls finna go smoke outside? Go bring a tea light. Hit it, and then blow it on the candle slowly. Y'all going out with your friends to go eat? Go get a napkin and put some food on the side for them. Because once again, energy is not created nor destroyed. It's the energy. All that really matters. That's why I said time is the biggest offering. Because all that matters is the energy that you're putting into making sure that they're straight. It's like a 3-year-old making you a picture. You might be like, this is the ugliest shit I've ever seen. But the fact that they gave you this picture and they're like, it's a horse. And you're like, I thought it was a hot dog or some shit. And you get like, it's just the fact that you're getting it. You're just like, my baby. And yeah, when it comes to the ancestors, I want y'all to really know that, like, they are y'all protection. They are y'all foundation. There's so much, like, more than I could ever explain it. That damn black tourmaline is not going to protect you from shit. It can, but it's not going to protect you from shit. That evil eye bracelet is not going to really protect you from shit. Like, yes, but why not have extra protection? Why not fortify it and then also heal in the mix? Some bitch try to hex you or some shit. Guess who the fuck is going to be the ones to let you know? Somebody's finna hurt you. Who the fuck finna let you know? Yeah. leave, you know, those gut feelings where it's like, leave now, like on some like scary shit where it's like, okay, like intuition, like holy shit, that's them letting you know. That's them like being like, this is your head, them being like, bitch, get the fuck out. Simple as that. But we listen and we see how these things of intuition, these downloads, help us tremendously. Those gut feelings, that's your intuition. That's you being guided by something higher. Because yes, at the end of the day, your higher self is getting that message. But what about if you had a thing of like a family reunion of hundreds of ancestors being like, hey, watch out for this person. Or hey, don't drive on that fucking street today. Or just, bitch, we hungry. Clean the damn altar. Bitch, why your shit got mold on it? Simple as like little shit like that. Then the downloads will start to come, and that's when you know you're starting to build that relationship with them. Be consistent. A lot of y'all, including me, everyone probably in this everyone, no consistency in their life. So when things are going consistent, it's kind of difficult to force a routine when all of our lives was so fucking spontaneous, you know? But build a routine with them. Feed them. If you don't know how much to do something, do it at least once a week. To where I'm like, okay, damn, life is really lifing right now. But I know this day I'm giving the ancestor something. The ancestor is going to help shake the money rituals. They're going to help heal that broken heart. They're going to help heal you by showing you how capable you are. Resiliency is in your blood. And I hate to say that because, oh, black women have to be strong, black men have to be strong. But no, I hate to say it, but we are strong as shit. In no way am I using that to excuse anything that we've ever went through. But these periods that we have of being down bad, we're never really down bad. We just on the bench for a little bit because our ankle hurt. But we keep fucking going. Because if it wasn't for them having to keep fucking going, you would not be here. And it's in our blood. I hate to say it, but it is in our fucking blood. So let them be there for you. Be vulnerable. You had a shitty fucking day. Go cry at the altar. And I promise you, you will feel the energy of them fucking surrounding you and coddling you. Not coddling you, but embracing you. There's been times where I just went over there and I was just like, hey, this side of the family just did some fucked up ass shit to me. I'm telling. Like, literally, I'm telling. And then I go tell on their ass. And then I show them how hurt I am. I show them how this, or I tell them how I feel, because they see you cry 5 fucking times a day. They can't read your mind until you go talk to someone. But even when you talk to someone, are you really being real? Like, are you really being vulnerable in that essence? In that situation? No. You're explaining the situation and you want comfort. But I promise y'all, the best comfort y'all can ever get is by people who know you and the people that you know on an energetic standpoint. To where when you're crying, you'll feel like this wave of like, hey, it's okay, baby. Like, we're here. And at times, I'm also being very transparent with y'all because I'm just saying this shit off of my prior experiences. Y'all at times might think, damn, my ancestors are disappointed at me, or this, or I'm not good enough, or all this other shit. But the crazy thing is, clear all that negative shit out your mind. You are their fucking baby. And can you be disappointed in your baby? Yeah, you can. And I'm not saying that in a way to be like, oh, look, they're kind of, but no, they don't see you as a failure. But if they tell you stop fucking with that nigga and you go back 10 fucking times, then it's kind of like, yeah, you gotta be disappointed to a certain extent. If they've been telling you, hey, go start that business, or hey, go do this, or hey, and you know, but you're choosing to not listen, yeah. And they'll realign your ass by fucking that shit up. Y'all saw in the reading, regardless of what path y'all choose, y'all gonna be alone and be forced to handle it. But one's gonna feel like solitude and one's gonna feel like abandonment. Bitch, I'm good. But yeah, like really clear these negative doubts, these negative thoughts, everything. Because when you feel like you're not good enough and like, oh, I feel like such a dumb bitch and I feel this way and I'm fucking depressed and that's when they want you to come to them. Because they'll let you know. Simple fucking point, point fucking blank period. When you tell them I don't feel good enough, now they know how to comfort you and reassure you. But if they just see you crying in bed, they're like, what the fuck do I do? Like, who did she just talk to? What just happened? Little things like that. They can't help you. You need to also be clear with them, and they will be clear with you. You want to know something? Just ask, bruh. Literally just ask. Be like, damn, why daddy side of the family so damn stubborn? Or some shit. Oh, you finna find out? Okay. Or, oh, like, I want a car. They're gonna be like, okay, bitch, we're finna get you a hoopty. Or, okay, you know, toy car, you know? Little things like that. Like, they want you to just be clear with them. If you want to know something, let them know what you want to know. If you feel some type of way, let them know. If you don't feel like y'all have a strong enough relationship, let them know and tell them, express to them that you would like a stronger relationship with them. All you have to do is just let them know. Just talk to them like they were really here. This is the time for you to also learn how to effectively communicate without the feeling of being abandoned or judged. Because keep in mind, you still have two total different sides of family. You know, one side of family reunions and link-ups be hella different from the other side. But that just shows how diverse your support system is and how well knowledgeable they are. You be clear with them and they'll be clear to you. And here's like my final segment about ways that they can show themselves to you. And the number one thing is through dreams. If you have a hard time remembering your dreams and then you smoke marijuana, tone it down a little bit, because marijuana messes with stages 3, 4 of your REM sleep, and you dream in your stages of 3 and 4 of sleep. So if you're never really going to sleep, how can they talk to you? You know? Also, side note, socially organic smoke blends also do help with that shit about dream recollection and insomnia and all the other good shit. Shameless plug, but yeah, dreams. It can be something like, don't take it literal. You know what I said earlier about like white people taking shit literal, and hence like why I believe racism started was, you know, white is godly and da 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 da. Break the dreams down. You're in a situation and you're like, oh my gosh, I think my best friend pregnant, and then you dream of a fish. Bitch, go search up what does dream of fish mean. And it will literally just be something like, somebody you know is pregnant. Simple little things like that. But make sure you write these down, because I promise you, you wake up and you're going to be like, hell yeah, I had a dream that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was breaking my house, you know, and then I saw God, and then 25 minutes later, you're not going to remember that shit. You're going to be like, oh my gosh, like, damn, what was I thinking about? Or so just write it down, and then you can start seeing common patterns in it. You can also ask them to show themselves as a certain animal. So if you see a lot of, ever since you started like doing this, you're like, damn, I've been seeing like, this is that we've been seeing like roly-polies or some shit consistently. Or damn, I've been seeing dragonflies. Search up dragonfly spiritual meaning. That's a sign of transformation. You can ask them, hey, can you show up as butterflies for me? Can you show up as this? Can you show me as whatever? One time on my balcony, and this is an example of not being clear. One time I was on my balcony and I was burning some ancestor money. And the craziest thing happened. I saw a wasp. I'm scared of wasps, terrified of wasps. But I drew a picture of the wasps and I was like, damn, maybe the wasps isn't so bad. Like, I kind of like them. I promise you, the next day after I put that bitch on my wall, not even 12 hours later, a wasp came, it literally floated from above my bed. I've been cleaning the room all day. but now there's a wasp in my room and I'm freaking the fuck out. And it's like I could feel the ancestors be like, damn, like, sorry, like, my bad. And I promise, like, that bitch did get killed. And I'm like, sorry, y'all, but shit, show me something else. But you see, that's when the communication wasn't clear. Because granted, I just said, oh, I like this out loud. And they're like, oh, look, she likes it. Let's give her a present. Bitch. You know? But you'll also get like little random downloads. Like you'll just be walking and be like, they want this for dinner. Or you'll just be like, you know, walk in and you'll see like a little flower. Like, oh, they're so funny. And it's just like, it's like, you know, it's like you can't even explain it to a situation. You could just be like, oh, it's my ancestors. You know? They will also pop up in readings as well. You know, you get a reading done and you're like, damn, they've been telling me to do this or have this gut feeling to do this, this intuitive message to just do this and da-da-da, but I'm not. And you get a reading and it says do that shit. That's literally them being like, hey, dumbass, like, hey, like, not dumbass, hey, like, stoopy, like, come on. Like, you really thought this reading was going to tell you about a nigga, but no, like, shadow work. And lastly, they'll let you know. The last way of how they can show up to you. If I'm being real, they could pop up at your crib. But they typically don't do that. They're more than likely to go to a dream than you wake up in the middle of the night and see some shit. Because at the same time, remember, you're their baby. If they know that fear has been stifling you from proceeding, why would they do something that they know is going to scare you? Unless you really don't give a fuck and you're like, hey, show me right now, like, this shit, go ahead. But when they come, you'll know. You'll be like, damn, I just saw 10 dragonflies today, but this is the only one that stuck out to me. Oh, it's crawling on me. Oh, it's this. You'll notice, like, things just things will start clicking to where you'll build a relationship with each other to the point where you don't feel like it's transactional. And I know I talk about the ancestors 24/7, but it's like you'll just be walking and be like, oh, like you'll feel everything. Your intuition will let you know absolutely fucking everything. And so yeah, that's the class. Does anyone have any questions? Oh wait, let me unmute all y'all because how do you do this? Okay, yeah, just y'all can just unmute yourself if y'all have a question. Or if you can't, put your hand up. Okay, period. So the question in the chat was, what if you do not have a consistent place for the offering or the altar? You can make a travel altar. And how do you do that? Bitch, let me grab this box. Tea light candle, shot glass, a cup, a bowl, you know, something to where you can basically have an altar on you at all times. You are the altar. So granted, you might not have a consistent place for, okay, like I can't put this here and I can't put this here and I don't know, and I have roommates, so I don't want to put it in the living room and all this other stuff. You can also hide that altar. The altar does not have to look like an altar. If this was a glass, look, this was glass. Let's just say I had like a little regular, like scented candle in the corner, left an apple on my desk, and then I'm burning incense in the corner or some shit. That's a whole altar right there. You can make your room an altar. You can make, I wouldn't say make the bathroom, but you can make your kitchen an altar. You can make the living room an altar, but you just gotta make sure you're strategic and then also just communicate people like, hey, please don't touch these things. But yeah, so when it comes to like a consistent place, personally, if you can't have it like in your room, I know like people put it in their closets. I personally wouldn't put it in my closet just because clothes and flammable stuff is in the closet, and I just wouldn't, you know. But I feel like ultimately something you'll know. But when in doubt, say you have to travel place to place, you could, the same way y'all can have a spend a night bag, y'all can have a spend a night bag ancestor edition. And I'm keeping it a stack. Like, bro, y'all go to somebody's house or something, dead ass, just, I'm gonna put this in the living room. Or, you know, just little, like, you'll find ways. Because the biggest thing is, like, it doesn't have to, ooh, my shit froze. Let me see.